Well, a massive day of rugby continues here on the Rugby Network. The matchup I think most have been waiting for, Brown and St. Bonaventure from Reading, Pennsylvania. Ben Holden, Will Hooley on the call of this one. Great to be with you. And Will, these two no stranger to one another. The third consecutive year that these two sides will play for the right to go to the championship. In 2022, the national champion was Brown. In 21, it was St. Bonaventure. This should be a dynamite match coming down to the wire. We'll see, like it did the last 2 years, partner.
Yeah, it's going to be a brilliant contest, Ben. Great to have you with me in the hot seat here on the Rugby Network. And it's two teams have almost had contrasting seasons. You've had Brown, who have been unbelievable, defeating everyone. St. Bonaventure, they've had some challenges, but they're still here in the last four.
They are. Brown is 9-0 this season. You get a look at their forwards that will start today. And one player to keep your eyes on up front, the tight head prop, Asa Rosenmeyer, a young man that's involved in the Building USA Rugby program. Another guy, Will, they lean on in those forwards is Estevez, their captain. And I know, my friend, that you are very excited to see their 13, Tito Ajua, get a run here today.
Yeah, I've been really excited seeing him, the breaks he's been making. Look, Brown have scored so many tries, and he's been at the center of that. Keep an eye on the number 13 for Brown.
He's a dangerous weapon. There's our referee, Christopher Micheletti. A little bit of chill in the air on the East Coast here in Reading, Pennsylvania. He is our head referee, the man in the middle. Brown in this match, they are the home side. And this St. Bonaventure side, Will, they've had an up and down season, but they found the rhythm and they found some chemistry here down the stretch, really, when it's mattered most.
Yeah, look, it's honestly, I think the reality when you come into playoff games, like having the contest, building into this, is what St. Bonaventure have. The fact that they were only 3-2 in Rugby East, they have really challenging games. That actually is those challenges put you in a better position when it comes to playoff time. So it'll be interesting to see St. Bonaventure against Brown. As you've said, Ben, a contest that these two know very well.
Third straight meeting here in the national semifinal. A trip to the final next Saturday down in Houston, Texas is on the line. Brown, the home side. They've got the hoops going. St. Bonaventure and their traditional Brown, and they get the ball free first here. St. Bonaventure and Brown, they've got a bit of contrasting styles, and now a little bit of pressure here for St. Bonaventure in their own end. If you're not familiar, St. Bonaventure at the far western end of New York State. Small little town up there. They've got a great school, great tradition, great history, especially in the sport of rugby. And the Brown Bears in the Ivy League, they are located in Providence, Rhode Island. Early goings here, Will. Do you think this is going to be a bit of an arm wrestle, or what do you think we'll see in the early going here?
Look, it's playoff rugby, and as you can imagine, early doors, just both teams will want to try and just build their set into the game, whether it's the set piece, whether it's the kicking game. And this is a really good platform for Brown. You've got to say, the amount of tries they've been scoring this season, they breeze through teams, literally have gone undefeated, not just in their first team, but also in their second team as well. You've got to say Brown come into this with a lot of confidence.
They sure do. I mean, they put up 99 against Fordham. They put up 100 a couple of times this year. They can absolutely light up the scoreboard. And here we go from that platform that Will mentioned. Let's see if they can get something going. Pretty heavy run right there. But the bodies are ready with two on the ball. Getting in there and getting it free. The Kiwi, the New Zealander, Charm Tuala is their 9. Isaac Frost is their 10. He's a grad student, a 5-year guy. Here comes Brown on the outside. Good push here from Brown here in the opening minutes of this one. Into the second minute. Whistle, and we're going to come back and reset for not rolling away, says referee Christopher Micheletti.
Yeah, really interesting, Ben. Brown looking to play both sides of the attack, hitting up the middle, trying to get their strengths into the game and open up their dangerous runners. You've got to watch out, as mentioned, in number 13, Tito Ajua. The fact that they get the ball into his hands as soon as possible is where they're going to be lethal. But I'm impressed just to see the St. Bonaventure's defense. Look, this team, of course, run by coach Danny Neighbor. It's only his first year in charge, but the fact that they're coming off with line speed, that is going to be the thing they're going to have to do to shut down this Brown attack. very much could be the reason why St. Bonaventure do well today, but they need to be disciplined. They can't afford to be giving penalties like this.
Yeah, and the first-year head coach, Danny Neighbor, took over for Tui Osborne, who went to Major League Rugby with the Miami Sharks. And another St. Bonaventure connection, of course, down there was Ricky Rose, the first overall pick a couple of years ago in Major League Rugby. And Kyle Sequeira is another proud alum of St. Bonaventure. Here's Brown, though. They've had the possession here in the early going. We played 3 minutes in the match. From the base, pulled back, spun free. St. Bonaventure, Will, they seem to be really good at the line. There hasn't been much for Brown to penetrate through here so far. Offload attempt there, and another penalty call for not releasing in time, says referee Christopher Micheletti. That one's on St. Bonaventure.
Just you can see the excitement, as I've mentioned, in St. Bonaventure's defense. The Bonnie defense are looking to come up, and that's really good, but you've got to be disciplined. No wrapping the tackle there, deemed by the referee. And look, when it's playoff rugby like this, everyone's a little bit heated. Everyone wants to be engaged straight away, but you've got to be cool-headed. I've been impressed by Brown just keeping hold of the ball. You can tell something, and his use of time, they're
Here's a line out now for Brown after the kick on the penalty by Isaac Frost. Brown gets up, well executed. They get it to the back now. Got some speed coming, but a big tackle made there. That was Manu Tuala who made that tackle for St. Bonaventure. Again, last year these two sides met. It came down to a penalty kick at the horn. The year before, a late penalty kick. They've had some epic matches here in this championship tournament.
just listening to the referee, and as you can hear him say, 3 penalties already, first 4 minutes, really aggressive defense, superb tackle from Tuala Manu.
Shot's been called.
Tuala in the midfield on his kind of opposite man, the duo we've been mentioning, number 13 for Brown. Really good defense, really good line speed, but then you just got to be disciplined. Don't give away an easy chance, an easy 3 points now for Brown to bring themselves into this game. And then the reality of this match is it could be down to the kicks. As someone who's a former fly half, I know how important these kicks are. It may look simple, but every point will count in this semi-final.
So critical. And St. Bonaventure on the other side, they've had some trouble with some kicking lately. But here's Brown now. They've got it on the tee. Raphael Lassonure. The first points here in the semifinal. The flags go north, and it's a 3-0 lead here in the early going for the Brown Bears.
Good work from Brown just to settle themselves into the game. And as you mentioned there, Lassonure from France. Strong pedigree of rugby, of course, in France. It doesn't surprise me that he's so good off the tee. He's also a player to really keep an eye on in that Brown side. Good start for Brown. Discipline needs to be better for Bonnie.
6th minute here of the match. Brown on top of St. Bonaventure, 3-0. Brown right back with it. They'll go to work again here.
Turnover's good. No.
Dave the Flame, the longtime Brown coach, had a good visit with him yesterday. And, you know, it was pretty simple. He said to me, Will, he said, our guys just need to follow the plan and do what we've done. They've yet to lose this season. St. Bonaventure here, though, with a turnover. They really haven't touched the pill a whole lot, but they've got it here in a good attacking situation here. But a penalty call here is on St. Bonaventure.
Look at that. You can tell how much it means. I think it's that Henrik Gabriel who came up there with the steal, the number 1 for Brown. I mean, it was a great steal in the first place by St. Bonaventure. As I say, the way they're getting off the line and hitting and getting on the ball. It's going to be a contest today, Ben. It's really exciting. It's only the first 6 or so minutes in this match.
So there's no
It sure is. On a chilly day, you see a little bit of snow on the touch line there on the near side on the bottom of your screen. And Reading, Pennsylvania, the Penn State Birds, the site for the Division I matches. Will and I are calling. Mike Petrie, Dave Ryan calling the 1AA matches. They'll be back with you at 3. Will and I will close up the day here at 5 with Queens out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and Wheeling out of West Virginia. And there's the knock-on call, says Christopher Micheletti.
Line out on the 15.
I did enjoy on the college rugby show. You must go and check it out. They've hit all the previews for these matchups. Of course, the women's NCR 15s national championships happening as well this weekend. But what I loved was Lance Kavanaugh. He said about the St. Bonnie side, he said they are the most unpredictable team. And I love the fact about unpredictability because you just don't know, and you just wonder that sort of uncertainty might get into Brown. I've mentioned already that Bonnie have had a harder campaign. They've had difficult matches. They've had challenges. Meanwhile, Brown have just almost breezed their way through. So you can see already for Bonnie just how much this means.
Yeah, and it's kind of, in talking to their head coach, it's kind of been it has been the story of their season. He said that in the early going, we were very inconsistent, but the last 3 weeks, they've really gotten it together, and they've stayed consistent. Now here's Brown coming away with a ball now. They'll kick and give a little bit of chase. Brown back there, though, but they can't get it. St. Bonaventure, they'll return the favor out near the halfway line where it's taken there by Frost. Good offload here, and he gets it into the hands of Cortabarria. Santiago Cortabarria out of Miami, Florida. Now the Bears with another push.
I was just going to say, lovely work from the number 10, Frost. Just the offload, the ability to get away. As now Brown moved to the outside. Great tackle.
Beautiful tackle and a second effort there by the Bonnies.
No, that's fine. Stay out. Leave him now.
The 40-meter line now. Brown getting it free for the base, but not much. St. Bonaventure, they have been really good at the line. There is not much room at all. Again, case in point, and a penalty call there, and it goes the way of the Bonnies.
Yeah, just a bit of crossing there from Brown, and just the attacker got in front of the guy with the ball. So as soon as the tackler tried to tackle the guy with the ball, he was hit by the Brown man that was in front of him. Deemed offside, therefore penalty. And now Bonnie, they can just get a bit of territory. They've been really strong. That defensive line's coming up beautifully, and they're hitting. They're looking to make two-man hits as well. It's a benefit in rugby. You can make a low tackle and then someone up top to try and hold on to the ball, slow the ball down. That is obviously what they're going to try and do today, St. Bonaventure. Really good defense. They've still got to be disciplined, though, but hopefully now this is their first real attacking opportunity inside the Brown half.
It sure is, and their hooker is their captain, Reynard Boshoff, out of Johannesburg, South Africa. They've got a pretty good representation, a handful of South Africans on their side, and they're starting 15 today.
Guys, you detach and you come back in.
And there's the word, a call that goes the way of Brown once again, Will.
Yeah, an interesting call from the referee. You can just hear about being detached from the maul. So ultimately, that's accidental offside, not deliberate offside, so not a penalty. But similarly to what I said before, Ben, about being in front of the ball. Because it detached away from the maul, and then they went back towards it, that was from an offside position. Therefore, because it wasn't deliberate, it becomes a scrum instead by the referee. Deemed that by the referee. I think going back to that, it might have been a little bit of a harsh call, but nonetheless, Brown have a chance to exit.
Big call from Christopher Micheletti in a massive match here. A trip for the championship next Saturday on the line. Tuala, the put in, quickly gets it out. Here comes the back line of Brown. Good ball out over the top outside. A little bit of room out there. Trying to get through, and they do. And over the halfway line, a good run. A chance there for Mendenhall to make the tackle, and he didn't do so. Allowed the runner to pick up another 5-7 meters. The push continues now for Brown. Speed again. Look at that speed from the Bonnies. You hear Micheletti. Advantage being played for an offside call on St. Bonaventure. Trying to kick that one over, but that'll stop play, and we'll come back to set for the offside call.
Kind of is killing them a bit, Ben, and I know we're only playing 11 minutes. It's really good line speed, and it's really good tackle completion, as I've mentioned, but you have got to be disciplined. So their referee saying that came from an offside position. You've got to be behind the back foot of the breakdown, the ruck. As that kick just goes out. But honestly, it's St. Bonaventure that is going to kill them as this game goes on. Really good defensive effort, but it means nothing if you are from an offside position or you're giving away penalties like they are as Brown bring themselves into that St. Bonaventure half.
As you and I know, you more than me, you played this game at the highest levels. Discipline is everything, and in a match like this, it is even more magnified. Here's the line out for Brown now. on top 3-0. They had the penalty kick early on. That's the only scoring thus far, but Brown, they've really had the possession. They've certainly had the territory in this match, but this is a penalty call for not getting out of there in time. It's going the way of St. Bonaventure.
Correct call. Correct call from the referee there. Once you get tackled on the floor, you can't just keep rolling. You keep rolling, then that's going to be penalised. That's what happened with Brown. A lovely little set-piece move, trying to attack the tail of the line out. It's an area in rugby that actually there's some space to try and get into. Brown obviously will do that maybe today. You'll see that a bit more off line out time, but unfortunately the ball carrier, you are not. Once you've hit the floor and been tackled, you can't just army crawl or roll to gain a few extra meters. That is why the penalty was given.
Line out here now for Reynard Boshoff and St. Bonaventure. Good throw, good job getting the jumper up, and here they come from the platform. Just shy of halfway. Troy Harold is their scrum half. The 9, Wilson Koina, is the fly half. South African and an Australian. That 9-10 combo that we know is so critical in every match, and again, magnified even more here today in this big-time, massive matchup to go to the championship next week. The speed from Brown. They get in there, and they get a turnover in there and a good offload, but they're going to stop this play and bring it back for a call that goes against the Bears of Brown.
Number 10. 10. Offside, yeah.
Just waiting to hear.
Yep.
Again, there you go. An offside call for Brown. They look like they're implementing the same sort of defensive tactic. You can see in the bottom corner there, the highlights. They're trying to get off the line quickly, but you've got to be onside from the beginning. If you're not onside from the beginning, it means nothing. Great line speed, looking to cut the ball off from the edge. They get that intercept, but unfortunately it comes back for the penalty for being offside.
So here's the kick from St. Bonaventure, and that's a pretty good kick down there. Going to set them up with their best position on the pitch yet here, Will. So golden opportunity here for the Bonnies.
Yeah, really golden opportunity, and I've heard, and you can just see the size of this St. Bonaventure pack. If I was them, look to try and bring this in for a maul, get the contest going, put it to that Brown forward pack. St. Bonnies have a chance here.
Here we go. Boshoff goes deep. They get it set, trying to do exactly what you said there, but everything crumbles to the ground, but they get the ball free now. Good ball played in the middle and inside the 5, and the ball's inside of the try zone, and it is down. St. Bonaventure, the first try in this match. It's 5-3 here in the 17th.
Wonderful score. Really strong carrying, but it was also the ball playing ability, the options that they had inside and outside, and it allowed Wilson Koina, the Australian number 10, just to pick his runner at the right time. As I mentioned, Ben, just before, I thought I nearly crystal ball the ability that they heard me. I thought they were going to do it from the maul. It got brought down well, but then this little inside, then outside ball. The options that he had there, the number 10 for St. Bonaventure, gives it to the big man. I mean, you ain't stopping a big man like that from there, but really clever crafted play from St. Bonaventure, and in the end, the first score of the match.
Big time play and great execution turned in there by the Bonnies. Again, the kicking, so critical. Massive kick here to put them up by 4. And he does just that. So 7-3 here. 17th minute of the match.
7-3 it is. Absolutely, you're right, Ben. St. Bonaventure, the first score of the game. And, you know, I've been impressed. A couple of lineups from both teams have both tried to strike off it. And in the end, it's St. Bonaventure who did it really well and got that try. So good start from both teams in this match, in this D1 semi-final. As we've mentioned, both teams wanting to get to Houston next weekend.
Penalty call here on Brown here. The score is 7-3 St. Bonaventure. Nearing the midway point here of the first half. You know, you love this about college rugby and college sports, these rivalries that build, and these two clubs, they have that, different conferences, and St. Bonaventure, 21 champs. 22 was Brown. Last year, St. Bonaventure knocking Brown out, losing in the final.
From the side.
Yeah, really tight game, that final. I remember watching it last year. NDC, Notre Dame College, got the win in the end. And I know St. Bonaventure were frustrated. It was a wet day in Houston last year for that championship final. So they'll be looking to get there again and go one better, I'm sure, St. Bonnies.
Here come the Bonnies now. They've got the momentum. Brown quickly to the line. The ground it goes. Played back into the hands of a big loose head prop, Tanya Hakandisa. Out of Zimbabwe. Knocked on, says Micheletti here.
Trying something different, just coming back. When you hit the middle off a set piece, the ability to open up two sides of the attacks. They try to come back on the reverse play, looping round, and I don't know, it's a classic case, Ben, of just not being on the same wave. I think between the 9 and the forwards. I can't say anything against forwards, but as a former back myself, you always get frustrated maybe the forwards give you a bad pass. But nonetheless, Brown now have the ball from this scrum. Good platform for them around halfway.
Guys, we're setting right. We got to find the headspace, both of you. Let's go reset it.
On my shirt, on my suit. Seconds.
So Christopher Micheletti gets him reset. You heard what he said. Got to find that headspace in there. Ball in the hands of Charm Tuala.
Set. Now, guys, up. You're pulling down. You're not getting your bind up, okay? We need to fix these binds on this side, and it starts with getting our heads in the right gaps, okay? Both of you. Sorry.
Dark arts of scrumming. The dark arts of scrumming, both props trying to get that slight upper hand at each other, but the referee sees it, wanting to make sure that everyone's on a level playing field. Two really good forward packs, as I said, coming into this match today. These are the... you want to get the upper hand.
That was big Michael Sears that Micheletti was talking to, the tight head for the Bonnies. Put in here, balls at the back. Trying to wrestle down the ball carrier there is Bonaventure, San Diego product, the big number 6.
Leave it. Turn around.
What a statement scrum that was. What a push from Brown. And you could hear the sideline. Obviously the Brown replacement. A few after.
Just walk away.
A few post scrum words from the forwards. It's all about getting those small upper hands in a playoff game. I know what it's like coming down a knockout rugby. You're looking for any kind of thing that's going to give you that extra lift.
How many?
As these games are so tight, Ben.
Big push up front in that said scrum you were talking about from Asa Rosenmeyer, a young man that came up through the New England Free Jacks and their academies. And a USA player. He's 6'4" and 285, a massive man up front. And he's lost about 32. Here they go again.
Transferred the ball. Same thing.
And it's a call against Brown this time.
Yeah, I'm only smiling because of obviously you've just gone and absolutely demolished the scrum, but then you haven't quite got your lineup set up. Similar to some Bonnies earlier in that accidental offside. They started pushing, transferred the ball to the back of the maul, but they weren't engaged by the St. Bonnies team. So there you have it, a scrum, accidental offside. St. Bonnies get it. Well, they get lucky, in my opinion, only because of Brown just almost gifting that to the St. Bonaventure team.
Find the back.
Now they have a chance to exit from their own third.
Find the back. You're on the front of the shoulder, okay? Guys, both of you need to fix this. We're not going to reset every scrum because of you guys, okay? Let's go. It's just 1 and 1. So let's fix it now.
Seconds.
I love that about this sport. Very direct. This is how it's going to be. Let's see if the boys respond here up front, the big boys.
The classic case of just saying yes, sir, as well. No, you don't argue with the referee in rugby. You get on with it. Proper contest in the scrum.
And you adjust and get it right. That's a call going against St. Bonaventure, so they don't get it right this time. And Brown in prime position here.
Brown would be really happy to see them getting the upper hand in that scrum. Really happy to see them get the scrum penalty again. But interesting, no 3 points taken by Brown. So they back themselves. They maybe see the fact they've had 2 scrum penalties. Maybe they're going to set up a maul here now and try and push again.
Contest,
so
make sure we don't transfer,
that's a really ballsy call from the Browns captain.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I thought where they're at, but they want the 5 and ultimately the 7 here. And they'll go to work here from 10 meters out on the lineout.
That's fine, Mo! Transfer it now.
Big fella in the middle there trying to push and drive this thing in. Here comes Brown. Look at that push. A massive push toward the line. Nicoletti's in there trying to get a vantage point.
Time's off, guys. Time's off. Time's off. Time's off, guys. Time's off. Time's off. Time's off. Time's off.
Time is off here.
Hold up, guys. So I've got a ball grounded, but
lower right, Will. We get another look back, and what a push here from Brown.
I've seen the ball on the ground, so I'm happy to award the try. The other option would be a
just hearing the referee. I think he's going to award this. It's a great push.
Did collapse the maul either way, so it would be a try either way. So it's going to be a try here, right?
There's the verdict, Will.
Really impressive setup, really strong from Brown, and we talked about how ballsy that call was to go for the corner off the penalty, and it works a treat. And you've got to say for Brown, 2 scrum penalties, then a pushover maul try. That gives them a really good feeling in the forwards to do that again and again and again. Really good setup, and just before that, they transferred the ball. They waited then to be engaged, and then they weren't going to have that accidental offside. That's really strong, really clinical from Brown. And hey, this is gonna be a tough one today, Ben. I have to say, both teams are up for it, but Brown, you've got to say up front, have shown a real ascendancy.
That was absolutely clinical on that push, and ultimately getting that try. As you heard Micheletti, either way, he said he was going to award the try. Big kick here coming up from their 15, La Seigneur. And that one drifting right on him, and it remains an 8-7 count here.
Mention Brown just having those big lads up front pushing hard. What I was interesting just before this game, hearing that obviously Brown have got a lot of students at the university, and over the Thanksgiving period, they haven't actually had loads of training time because people have been away, gone back to their families, whatever it might be. But I've got to say that the continuity is there. They haven't lost anything, and maybe that extra bit of fresh legs. You can see they're bringing it in the way that they pushed over that try for their first try of the game.
Yeah, you mentioned the international flair they have, and Brown, an Ivy League school, it's very, very difficult to get into that school. They have a 5% acceptance rate. Oh my goodness. Up on the contest there in the air, and the St. Bonaventure player. And I'm not going to ID him until I can see the number, but man alive, did he ever go up and take a shot and come down very hard on the pitch.
I want to say it was number 15, Matteo.
I've got 10 contesting.
Lorenzato at the back. Really brave work from the 15. Yeah, so the kick goes up. And as you watch, it's a bit of a rugby incident, but because the St. Bonaventure player gets up so high, I think it's 13 for Brown. Oh, we're just having a look at something there.
So he's won the space.
Yeah.
You've unfortunately mistimed your
But it's from here, gets up well, gets up high. But in the end, they both go for the ball. Because he gets up so high, the 15.
Right.
Oh, sorry, it's the 10. My bad.
10, yeah.
Wilson Coiner.
Yeah.
Taking him out. He's
Yep, it's Coiner, yep.
It's a yellow card.
He does such a good job.
It's going to be a yellow here, Will.
Played in the air, he's on his back. He's
Leave
on
it.
his back, he hasn't fallen on his head.
13.
I've seen him clearly land on the numbers. So that's a yellow card. Yeah.
When contests are in the air like that,
The head's just a whiplash effect.
and in the end, hopefully, Coiner is going to be okay because he's so influential at fly half for Bonnies.
I'm sure you've been there before, right?
You all right, Ted?
I have. Actually, the last time in that situation was,
Here, guys, right here.
ended up badly for me when I fell on the floor and
Yeah, time's on.
was knocked out. We won't go there, Ben. That's
Yeah.
another story. But yeah, it's a big collision.
Fair enough.
I'm glad to see both players okay. But
Yep.
yeah, a yellow card is the right decision for round 13, Adjure, who I believe has gone off the field. The kick's not gone out though.
Scrum.
Yeah. So that's a big loss in multiple ways. Obviously, the yellow, they're down for 10 minutes here. And a guy that you love and really feel like is going to be a huge difference maker by the time this thing is done, Tito Ajua, is in the bin for 10.
Seconds.
Let's keep our height. Let's keep our feet under us, okay?
Got away with it though, Brown, because that kick didn't go out. Penalty into touch. They kicked it all the way dead, so they're coming back for a scrum. Bonaventure, you've got to say, they've let Brown off the hook there massively.
Put it, I mean, it's arm to Allah.
Advantage.
Nicoletti, advantage is being played for Brown. And the signal there from Nicoletti.
Yeah, that's fine.
I reckon Brown will scrum all day long and maul all day long. Third scrum on the bounce, and that's the third penalty they've got from that scrum. It's such a competitive area in our sport. And when you have that much of a go forward, that much ascendancy, Ben, that could be match winning. I really do mean that. Having that set piece upper hand, showing that so early, showing that so dominant is really good for Brown.
We're on St. Bonaventure's side of the pitch here. Inside of 40 meters from the line. They're up 8-7 here. Playing down a man here. Mishandling
There's
that
no
ball.
way he's avoiding that. Just knock on. 10.
That's fuck's sake.
There's no way he's avoiding that. It's a scrum.
So we're going to lock up again here, Will. These front rows.
Yeah, no problem. Time's off, guys.
The scrum coming up.
It's a
Time
prop.
is off there. You heard Micheletti. And a St. Bonaventure player there, middle of your screen.
No problem. Good.
Getting a little wrap there, an adjustment there
Once
from
you're
the
set,
trainer.
we'll go time on.
Tip of the hat. Those
straight.
men and women that keep these men
Time's
together
up.
throughout the long season they play in college.
Same thing again, boys.
Interesting tactic from St. Bonaventure that they're making sure that they try and not engage with the maul that Brown try and set up, so then Brown can't maul.
Crouch.
I mean, it's actually a good tactic to prevent a team who have got a strong pack of forwards from getting an upper hand, but it's this area that St. Bonaventure have got to improve.
No. Advantage. You're pulling him
Bonnie's
there.
have the
You're pulling him.
advantage here, says Micheletti. They're a man up here, trying to
Advantage
get back
high.
on top. They led 7-3. Good carry there from them, gaining halfway. Hard charging run, but a hard charging tackle as well. Speed coming right there and waiting, trying to get the turnover.
Okay. Bosch. Where's Bosch? I'm looking for his scrum cap. Oh, there you go. Okay. You got a penalty at the scrum over there on that 15, or a penalty at midfield for high tackle. Midfield high tackle. Yeah. Penalties here, guys. High tackle.
So just when I said they need to improve their scrum, they then go penalty. There you go. Just when you're trying to paint a picture of this game and it goes back and forth like that. So that's a good sign for St. Bonaventure because Brown really have had the upper hand in the scrum.
Numbers.
Now that they've got that extra man. Looking at this high tackle, that high shot on the outside there. Got to tackle below the shoulders in our sport. But now St. Bonaventure, as I say, they've got that man advantage. They're now inside the Brown half bend. They've really got to try and capitalize.
See if they can do so. The line out here, the throw from their captain, Reynard Boshoff.
Ball!
In and they get the ball set. Ball
Don't
at
swim
the
one,
back
don't
of
change
the
your
right
mind.
arm of Boshoff.
You can hold, don't change. There you go, that's fine.
2:32. South
No,
African.
4, out. Out 4.
Battle ensues. A street fight
Advantage,
in there.
collapsing number 8.
Hold down there by Estevez, says referee
8
Christopher
collapsing.
Nicoletti.
Number 8 collapsing.
Good strong setup from Bonnies. That's an area. They tried to set it up before and then they played away and they actually scored, but it's good to know that they can play away and be creative, and they also can stay in that maul and get yards and ultimately get a penalty out of it as well. So they're just creeping up the field, Ben. Creeping up into the side of the Brown 22. Really going after this second score of the match for St. Bonaventure.
Sears in there with a little instruction for Boschop and what they want to do here. Deep with it, nearly
Zach's
stolen
good.
by
Zach
Brown.
is good.
Boschop with it.
Yeah, turnover's good.
Down to the deck he goes. Brown
Use it now, 9.
comes in, they get the ball, they force the turnover deep inside of their own territory.
It was a great steal from Brown. I didn't see the number on the back, but it was a steal, a turnover. They sacked them all really well. They brought down that St. Bonaventure more. That means they had to play away.
Everyone on
Ball
you.
carrier got isolated. We watch here in the bottom corner. They get that sack. You're allowed to do that first man, but as that ball carrier comes away, he's on his own. He gets turned over from the Brown defense, and they manage to exit. Good defensive work from Brown.
Huge, and they're down a man here. Yellow card issued in the 28th on Tito Ajua. Here come the Bonnies now. Still got about 3.5 minutes or thereabouts remaining in the yellow. Turned over again.
It's a maul.
The indication from Nicoletti, and it goes back to Brown.
Maul.
Another layoff.
4 minutes.
Another layoff. Another chance. Built in phases.
Your ball.
Remember, Ajur is a player who's in the back line. You've got one-man advantage in the back line. They try and open it up.
Yeah, let's go 9.
Against a Brown defense, though, that is coming up strong. So you've either got to hold your depth side, pick off the man, pick off the line speed, and especially when you've got a man advantage, or you've got to be aggressive and go through the middle hard. They did neither there, St. Bonaventure. Brown now have another scrum penalty. So, yeah, they completely have got away with this, Brown, as I think Ajur will be soon, maybe before the end of the half, back on the field.
Yeah, he'll definitely be before the end of the half. It was the yellow was in the
It's
28th,
not the way the
so
scrum used to be.
now we're inside of 2 minutes or right around that mark. Kick
I'll
from
keep an eye
Brown
on
there.
From where I was, it looked like
Flag in the air
overextended
from
already.
the AR there on the left of your screen. That's where they'll go to work here. No particular hurry,
Mark,
trying to
up to the
chew
white,
up
up to the yellow.
that remaining time of that yellow we mentioned to Tito Ajua.
Advantage.
Deflected and
Knock on.
turned over, and the Bonnies come over with it. It's knocked on there, and they'll play it. Laid back, Brown, good
Backwards.
speed. Mishandle, but the ball went backwards, as you heard there, and
Nope.
that's good.
Advantage offside. No. Can't come
Giving
around.
it
You still can't
free.
come around the side.
Laid out again. Now they
Timing's
go
good.
over the
Leave it
top.
10. Nothing there, guys.
Of Brown there.
Yeah,
Gonna come
I
back
get what you're
going.
saying, but you can't come from the side.
Reset
Mark,
this.
keep an eye. Anything, Mark?
Good call from the referee. In terms of performances, he's had a strong start to his semi-final outing as well. Coming in from the side, the defender. And then St. Bonaventure, when you've got that penalty advantage, you want to try and do something with it. They try and did a floaty ball over the top to that edge. When you've got a line speed defence coming up against you as this ball just goes out, there's actually a bit of space just over the top of the defensive line. Maybe a little chip kick, maybe a little grubber just over the top, particularly when you've got that penalty advantage.
Patrick.
That can be a really good attacking weapon. So maybe I'd like to see the number 10, Wilson Coyner, and equally the number 10, Isaac Frost for Brown. And when they do have an opportunity to attack, you're going up against a line speed defense, just that little chip over the top could be really beneficial, getting in behind the defensive line speed.
Take a step 1.
Here we go in the final 2 minutes of this first half. 8-7 Brown on top. St. Bonaventure's got it.
It's all good.
Trying to slip through there, not much there. Halfway and down they go. Brown coming in there and getting that ball. Great work in there by Claiborne to take it.
Hold. Yeah, the ball's out.
Yeah, Tuala on the base, played it free. Not much there at all. Laid back again for him. A little bit of speed coming there, but first one to greet him there is Boshoff, the hooker for St. Bonaventure. Penalty call here on Brown.
Not with the way we're reacting. Out guys.
Player in there, they got to get their comrade out of there, and they do. He's surrounded.
Few choice words there, Manu Tuala. Well, when you've just got the steal, of course, you can stand up and give your opposite man maybe a little few choice words. Great steal, great turnover from Bonnie in the end. And you can just tell it's getting a bit feisty in this game. Both teams have just got to cool their heads a bit. Remembering that, this is a big matchup, but if they come in as a duo, I think number 13 for Brown, he comes back onto the field. Talking about discipline, you've got to make sure you stay disciplined in these matches, Ben. You've got to make sure you keep 15 men on the field as much as possible.
And if you're Brown, you're thrilled because you got through that with no points against. And you had arguably your top scoring threat in the bin, but here's a throw that goes deep and into the hands of Tuala. You're in the final few seconds here of this first half. We'll see how long Christopher Micheletti lets him go here. We're in the 40th. 8-7 Brown on top. Try from each side. A penalty kick early on from Brown. That's the scoring to this point, the 15 points on the board. Played way back, and this one banged down from the back. Take back there from the Bonnies. They take a look.
Yeah, good.
They'll give chase here. Down on the deck. Brown getting in, getting to it. The ground, they go quickly. Tuala pulls it free. Tuala there first on the slow up there on the ball carrier for Brown.
Hold. Yeah, wings on, all on. Keep retreating.
Back and forth we go. Chase now for the Bonnies.
No advantage.
Round the handle. Tuala. Now out over the top towards this near side touchline. Carry there, ball out, and they're going to bring it back here, says Christopher Micheletti. Not releasing in time.
Yeah, it's a little behind, actually.
I think actually in the end it was just taken off the ball. Mentioned, got to stay cool, just not needed from St. Bonaventure. You had them where you wanted to keep them, which was around the halfway mark. Bit of kicking. Both teams, not wanting to give away easy possession or easy territory, so that's why you had a bit of a kicking battle. But just a silly penalty from St. Bonaventure. Didn't need to do it. Tackle off the ball, and now Brown. Did they try in this last maybe play or so in this first half, try and get something on the ball?
Taken away though. Bonnie's come up with it. They get it out, get it free. Harold. They're 9. Right back into it again. Out over the top. Down on the deck. Picked up. Good job taking that off the hop out there by the winger out there. Hear those hits. Winner on to the championship next Saturday night in Houston. This ball batted free and into the hands of Brown. So Brown now, they're on the attack here. Late stages, very late stages here of this first half. Leading by 1. Ball down on the deck, went backwards, picked up by Brown. Man's game out there today. Tuala takes a look. Lays it back. Another heavy run there. Brown knocking on the door.
Advantage, knock on. Turnover was good. It was knocked on. It's halftime.
There you go. The first half will end with a knock-on, the call from Christopher Micheletti, and an absolute battle here in this semifinal. St. Bonaventure on top, 8-7.
Yeah, really strong first half. Both teams physically throwing themselves at it, a bit like a boxing match. Little 1-2, little jab. These guys are still finding each other out. They know each other so well in semi-final NCR D1 championship status. They want to get themselves to Houston next weekend. It's a 1-point game, Ben. I've got to say, it could go either way.
Really could. Third straight meeting between these two clubs and these universities in the semi-final round. We'll step aside, take a quick break here with the Bonnies on top of the Bears, 8-7.
Rugby is all about feeling. The feeling when you crouch, when you bind, when you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle. The feeling when you take that first hit. We are that feeling. We are contact. We are Rhino.
I have to say my favorite Thorn product is creatine. White protein. Vitamin D, super EPA. Official affiliates. I chose to take Thorn supplements over another brand because they're sports backed. You know it's tested and it's safe to use. There's a wide variety of benefits that range from sport performance to neurological benefits. I know it helps me increase my lifting capacity.
That they're third-party tested, that they're NSF certified.
And they also taste great, so that's why I choose Thorn.
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
To understand the game in its fullest, you need to understand what's happening to the ball.
Gilbert is synonymous with every major event that's happened in our sport.
The ball is a conductor of the orchestra. We put a tiny microchip inside the ball. We're getting location information from the ball, speed, spin, distance, trajectory, hang time.
The technology and the innovation behind this ball is truly a game changer.
When we pick up the ball, we also pick up a legacy. A legacy that stretches beyond your current team. A legacy built on the backs of those who came before you with hard work. And for those who will come after you, we promise it won't be easy. But we'll be there, supporting you on and off the field.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Welcome to the Rugby Rundown on the Rugby Network. Join myself, Alex Corbacero, and Will Hooley as we bring you your weekly rugby fix.
With the big news, special guests, and unparalleled access, this is your rugby show.
From college rugby, Premiership Women's Rugby, MLR, and more, we've got you covered.
Watch exclusively on the Rugby Network.
Come along for the ride as we bring you the Rugby Rundown.
And welcome back, Penn State Berks in Reading, Pennsylvania. Ben Holden with you alongside Will Hooley. And Will, this has been an unbelievably tight physical match. What are your biggest takeaways from the opening half of this one here with a trip to the final next weekend on the line?
Both teams are physical, Ben. You've got to say they are really bringing it in this first half. I've been really impressed by the Brown scrum. I have to say they've shown some real ascendancy in that area, getting the penalties. And both teams are bringing that line speed. They're really wanting to get up, put the pressure on the attack. It's obviously a cold day. It's not going to be easy handling the ball. So both teams match each other very well. Bonnie, though, you've got to say, they're going to get back into this game. If they're going to probably go and win this match, they're going to have to be stronger in that set-piece area because Brown have been looking strong.
They have, and Brown got their lone try. Each team with just one try here in the match. Brown opened the scoring early on within the first 5 minutes of the match with a penalty kick, but they got their try off that driving maul that they powered in. And let's give you a reset here. This is the third straight year these two sides, Brown and St. Bonaventure, those are the Bears of Brown. They're out of Providence, Rhode Island, meeting in the semifinal round of the national tournament. St. Bonaventure won last year, but then lost in the final. They beat Brown on a penalty kick on the last play of the match last year, and it was an unbelievably epic match. In 2021, St. Bonaventure, they won the national championship that year. They didn't face Brown, though, in the semifinal round that year, but this, the third consecutive year that these two programs have met up with a trip to the final on the line. And we get a look back at the moving pictures. Will, there was the penalty kick in the first half, and then here we go with the St. Bonaventure try.
Yeah, really nice setup. In the end, it was just brought down, but the way that they moved the ball away from this maul, giving the likes of that number 10, Wilson Coyner, the ability to pick inside or outside runners, and in the end, smashing over for that first try of the match. A really good start from St. Bonaventure. But this one, Ben, hey, I'll let you talk through this. This is just power.
It sure was, and you've talked about it throughout the match, and they just get this set, execution on the throw, everything about it. I mean, that's as clinical as it gets, isn't it, Will?
That is really, really strong. And that could be an area where if I was the Brown coach, if I am, ultimately Dave LaFlame, I'm saying do more of this. Yeah. Keep it tight. Keep it. Get our line speed going. Shut any of their attack down. And then when it comes to scrum and maul, we are just going to do it all the way until the final whistle. You can tell, you mentioned just earlier, these guys know each other well in championship playoff games. And you can tell things are getting feisty. It means a lot to these schools. They're wanting to book a place. They want to book their ticket, I should say, to Houston next weekend.
They sure do. There's our referee. That's Christopher Micheletti. An honor for him and the assistant referees who worked this match and all these matches here this championship weekend here on the men's side. The NCR semifinal round here The second semifinal and 1AA is coming up at 3 o'clock Eastern time. Will and I will be back with you for the second semifinal in Division 1 with Queens and Wheeling. That should be an absolute heater of a match as well. And there is Wilson Koina, who, if you weren't with us, was upended, came down awful hard in that first half around midway through, and no problem. He's dusted off and back in. So Brown's got it. They're in the hoops kits, the white shorts, St. Bonaventure in the Bonnie Brown they wear from Western New York against the side from Providence Road and the Ivy League School Brown. Take back there, 10 meters over halfway by the Bonnies. Now they'll look to go to work. Harold's their scrum half, the South African, and Koina, the Aussie.
Advantage for
Spun
offside.
free here. You hear the voice of Micheletti. Mishandled and whistled, and we'll bring it back.
Discipline. Early in the second half, and you go and wander offside there from Brown. Really not very clever. As now, I wonder whether Bonaventure, whether their kicker is lining this up. It doesn't look like it. Manu Tuala's going to poke it into this corner. They've had a good, strong driving maul in their game, and they've shown that already in this match. So maybe they feel that they can try and nab a try early in the second half.
I'm going to line up and give it a shot here. Lucas Otaniru had the try for the Bonnies. We'll put them up 7-3 after the conversion. Bosch off the throw. He gets to the back. Trying to get in there. He's got his right arm around it. Nearly lost his tarp there. They get him to ground.
Turnover's good. Turnover's good.
Now Brown. They come up with a ball and all of that. Great work in there to come up with a turnover for the Bears. Deep in their own territory. Heavy run there.
Use it.
Right over Tyler White. But they eventually got him to ground. Laid back. And the charge down there. They got a piece of it, did the Bonnies. The knock-on is called.
Wow, that was a bit of chaos. If ever I've seen a bit of chaos there. Brown with a brilliant turnover. I think it's that Gabriella number 1 for the Browns. He's already had a turnover in this game. Very elusive from the loosehead prop of Brown. But in the end, they just try to set up their exit. Not terribly clean. And that big man, I think it was Mosh Young from Bonnie's, the number 4, coming to get the charge down, get onto the ball, but then they just knocked it on. So Brown under a bit of pressure here, just inside their 22, as they look to try and exit.
Take a step. On you, on you, on you, on you. Crouch! Fine! Set!
Tuala to put in, waiting at the back. That's a win for Brown. The call on the Bonnies. Some relief there on the kick, and there you see where this will take place from. Brown 9-0 on the season. St. Bonaventure 6-3 coming into the match. Joel Hasso, their vice captain, their hooker out of Reading, England. Down on the deck, picked up by the Bonnies. They look to go back to work
Turnover's
here.
good. Pulled it, not releasing.
Brilliant turnover again, Ben. Absolutely brilliant turnover, and it's that man, Enrique Gabriel, the number one for Brown. I mean, he's been like a back rower. I mean, he's been insane over the ball, and he's got Brown out of trouble now a couple of times early in this first half. Great work from the prop, as Brown just can get themselves into some Bonaventure half. But you don't usually see that, Ben. The big lads like that getting so low and getting those turnovers. Very impressive.
He's 6'1" and 195. You would say for a loose head prop, a bit undersized. But, man, he's playing a lot bigger than that. To your point, there's a look at him there. He'll be in the front there of the jumper. They'll lift up there. He's out of Lisbon, Portugal, one of two in their starting 15 from Portugal. Estevez, the other one. Both from Lisbon. That one batted away by the Bonnies. And the Bonnies, now they've got it deep in their own territory. Brown going for the steal over the top there. El Hasso unable to get it, though. Now the Bonnies, that one, they come down on that hard. They don't get the kick, and it finds touch right around halfway.
Finds a touch, but it's outside of the 22. Exactly, so it comes all the way back. If you're going to kick the ball out on the full, you have to be inside your 22. In the end, I think it was obviously number 9, Troy Herold, the South African, just connecting too hard, too good, taking it out on the full. So now it's a Browns line out just outside the 22.
And they've flipped the field here in a hurry. They were way back deep inside of their own territory. Now they're in a wonderful attacking platform here. Trying to add to a 1-point lead here in the 47th minute. National semifinal here in Reading, Pennsylvania. Call on St. Bonaventure.
Yeah, if I was the Brown captain, just think about this now. Just think about this. I know that they've brought themselves all the way up to the St. Bonaventure's half through penalties, through turnovers. But no, it doesn't look like Lassonniere is going to take it and poke it in towards the corner. It's not the best kick. If you're going to try and get to the corner, you want to try and get 5 meters out. But I don't know, Ben, if I'm captain of Browns, I would be trying to take 3 points. It's such a tight game. Points matter.
Guys, up here, up here.
However, let's go back to their try, though. Remember, we both were a little surprised they didn't kick, and then they had the ball. Let's see if they can do it again here, right? Short, knocked down by the Bonnies. Right back to the hooker there. That's El Hasso. Now at the back, Tuala. Plays it free. Both these teams have been very good in the tackling and the defense portion of their game today. Real estate has been tough to get. Just 15 points on the board here. And the Bonnies now, they come away with another turnover deep in their own territory, but they go into touch on the tackle. And a good job by Estevez taking the ball carrier into touch.
Guys, even if he did throw it faster inside the 5. So we're just going to play the line out. You were never realistically playing that. There's tons of players in the channel. Line out set, okay? There's a lot of players.
Just hearing the referee.
Set, and it wasn't clear who brought
it. Was a great bit of defense from Brown just to shove him out. I think they're shoving out Mendenhall, the winger for St. Bonaventure. So Brown continue to mount some pressure inside this Bonnie's half.
Here's Brown now. Set piece from the line out. Tuala frees the ball. Taken out of there, calls his own number here. Little couple of meter pickup there for the scrum half, Tuala. Now played back into the hands of Gabriel. Wills talked about him and so good in those rucks and coming up with balls and creating havoc there in those battles for him. Tuala immediately looking left. They play it that way. Really no help over there. The ground they go. Tuala spinning it free. Short little play there for Frost. He played it back inside. Call here that's going to go the way of St. Bonaventure.
Just a small forward pass there by the number 10 of Brown, Isaac Frost. It's interesting, actually, Ben, what you're finding now, that line speed that both teams are trying to implement. Well, what does it do? Actually tires you as well. Looking at some Bonaventure, they're continually trying to bring that line speed, but then they're becoming very condensed, and that line speed begins to slow down. The space is on the edge. I just think Brown, if they can get another pass away, just hold their depth, move the ball to the outside. There's plenty of space, and particularly if they've held onto the ball for a few phases, the St. Bonaventure defense, in my opinion, is looking a little bit fatigued. So, Brown, if I'm tactically thinking to myself, just stay in the fight, the space will open up on the outside, as it has done. They just need to be clinical and getting it there.
Good stuff and great observation indeed. And here's the put in now for the Bonnies. Harold. And down to the pitch they go. Crumbling down, and now Brown quickly on the restart. Estevez the carry, offloads the ball. Knocking on the door is Brown again. But the Bonnies get in there. Back and forth we go here. Overs will, and both these sides just really putting up a fight here in the opening 10 minutes here of this second half.
Back and forth, literally. Back and forth. How strong is that scrum? My man, Enrique Gabriel, the number 1 for Brown, is having a field day. They're absolutely having a field day in that scrum. They're going to eat those scrums up as the game goes on, and it's an area for St. Bonaventure they're going to have to fix. And the other thing they're going to have to fix is getting their penalties out. There you go. Brown back in the game now.
And that was Noah Edwards, who's just checked into the match wearing 22. His first touch of it with his foot. And yes, it did not find touch, so Brown with it now. 5 meters over halfway here in the 52nd. Still a 1-point lead for Brown. 8-7, same score we had at the halftime break. Trying to offload there. Tight quarters over there for the Bears. Bonnies, though, wrestle him to the ground. It was Reese Cunningham with the tackle, the number 7 out of Johannesburg. Now Brown. Double pump now way outside with it. Haven't seen a lot of this, Will, in this match. Good offload. Here comes Brown. And there's your guy, but he goes into touch. That's Tito Ajua. Really the first time we've seen him get his hands on the ball in the match.
Good ball over the top there. Great pass, I think, from the number 10. Isaac Frost just floats it over the top. That's a good ball. Not too risky. Came with a bit of pace onto it as well, getting to the outside. And in the end, it's good covering defense. Been pretty impressed by the number 12, Manu Tuala from St. Bonaventure. He's been very impressive in defense, and in the end, he comes good for his team there. But I've just mentioned already, I'm seeing St. Bonaventure just struggle a little bit. Their defense is just showing a lot of space on that outside, and Brown are starting to pick it off.
Deep throw, and that was a beautiful throw on that line out from the Bonnies. Now here they come. Keep in mind, last year, this match between these two, it came down to a walk-off penalty kick. The year before when they met, it wasn't a walk-off situation, but it was very late in that match that one was decided. Both these clubs, national champs here, both since 21. Here's an opportunity, though. Brown slowed in their tracks. Good job on the tackle there. Getting in there is Charm Tuala. But again, St. Bonnie's is there. Mosh Young made the tackle, the big number 4, the lock. And this one is mishandled. Down to ground it goes. But it's a knock-on called on Brown for the mishandle there.
You got to say for Brown, they probably don't mind having another scrum. Look at that hit there. Really strong work from Mosh Young, the number 4, leading from the front. It's a really good line from Brown. Just trying to get inside the defender there, but just knocks it on. But I've got to say, Ben, this is another scrum opportunity. If I'm Brown, I'm licking my lips. Whether it's my ball or not my ball, these big lads up front are going so well. It'd be interesting to see who makes the first changes in the forward pack. What bench is going to spark a bit of an impact as we have a look there to the injured man for St. Bonaventure. But yeah, really interesting last sort of 20 or so minutes to this championship semi-final.
That was Noah Edwards that was getting a little stretch there, it looked like, from the trainer. And here we go. Back into the scrum we go.
All right, time's on.
If I'm St. Bonaventure, I'm thinking just get this ball down channel 1, get the ball out, get it into the back line as soon as possible. Don't keep it in this scrum. Brown have been so strong.
Harold trying to get it at the back. Bounding ball came free, and they do that. Here they come with some speed, trying to break. Good run there. Excellent pickup on that ball carry. Edwards in there on the cleanout. Good work out of him. Into the hands there of Hakandisa, the loose head. Zimbabwe product, and there's Young in there pushing.
You're off your feet now, Alex. Yeah.
Bonnie's.
No.
Get it free. Heavy run there. Tyler White with a carry. Now Harold. Is it back now? They're going to kick one over and run her out there. And a bad hop. That's rugby. It'll turn on you in a hurry. They had the play set up, Will. They just didn't get the bounce.
Didn't quite get the bounce, but really impressive. And I mentioned him earlier in the defense, but actually Manu Tuwala, the number 12 for St. Bonaventure, he got his hands on the ball. It was a lovely delay pass. That set-piece move, they hand off the center scrum. But in the end, I like this option. Talked about it early in the first one. When you've got a line speed defense, there's some space in the backfield. That ball just had to sit up, and that might have been try time for St. Bonaventure.
It sure looked that way, and they don't get it on the bounce. And now Brown on the restart. Back to halfway, they send it. 8-7 here in the 56th minute. Reading, Pennsylvania. Ben Holden, Will Hooley, and our crew. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast here on the Rugby Network, wherever you're watching today. 2 more semifinals, 1 at 3, 1 AA, and Will and I back with you at 5 for the other one in Division 1. Knock on called, and it's against Brown.
Just looking at the strapping on Tito Ajura's leg, the number 13 for Brown. Question whether maybe he's 100% fit today. Just know how strong a ball carrier he is, and just losing the ball in contact there, getting taken out of bounds previously a couple of minutes ago. Number 13 so influential for that Browns attack, just not getting the space, and maybe not quite the same strength that he has been previously. I don't know.
We've missed the
but
set.
ultimately,
We've gone head into shoulders.
Getting stripped in contact, not great. As St. Bonaventure have a chance inside the Brown half.
Crouch.
Locking up again. Here we go.
Fine.
That's a call that goes against Brown. Bonnie's right back to work. Harold. Good ball movement. Carry there from Cunningham. And another penalty or another whistle here, and it's indicated there by Micheletti. Not releasing in time against St. Bonaventure.
Leo Clayberg, the number 12. Coming up with the steal, really important steal for Brown. And you've got to say that's where they've been really strong, getting the turnovers in the right time. When they've been under pressure inside their own half, and in the end, their turnovers, their jackals, as we call it in rugby, have been strong and got them out of trouble. You just think for St. Bonaventure, psychologically, that just hits you hard. You do all that work getting into the Brown half, getting some good attacking play going, and then you just get turned over. It's such a win for this Browns team.
One drop, yeah.
Brown, too deep there on the line out. Unforced there for St. Bonaventure. Harold works it out of there. No real breaks in this match from either side. It has been physical. You see right on cue, tightly contested. Maybe one here. And they tried to play it outside of the line. Bonnie's get in there and get on it.
Mark, do you have anything more than a scrum? Time's off, guys. Time's off. So I've got 2 hands. I haven't seen anything else, so I've body blocked the rest.
It looked like good pass.
Intentional knock, so penalty only. I don't have a clear break. Yeah, penalty only. It's going to be a penalty here. Intentional knock off. Just a penalty. Intentional knock.
So the verdict there is Micheletti conferred with the assistant referee over there. Good job by him to work through it.
That's the law.
It was a nice attack. And a nice kick, getting inside the 22. But what I liked about that St. Bonaventure bit attack is they try to move the ball away from contact. They didn't just allow a one-pass play from 9 to the forwards and then took it up into that heart of that line speed defense of Brown. They actually tipped the ball on. They found space, Ben, and they found space on the outside as well. When you put a side under pressure, that's when sort of mistakes, I say that's when actually ill discipline comes, when you put a side so much on the back foot. So now, St. Bonaventure, big chances. They make a few changes in the forwards. Can they make an impact?
They do. In fact, they have subbed in Ronan Welsh, number 20, who just came in, Burdette, 21, and Edwards, who we've mentioned a couple times, 22. He's running a 10 for him, though. But those 2 other guys, the first 2 guys up front, to your point, Will, and now St. Bonaventure looking to get the lead here, down by 1 here, nearly halfway through this second half. Very tightly played physical match here between these 2. Space has been very difficult to come by. Just inside of the 5 meter is St. Bonaventure here. But they turn it over. Looks like 2 calls in all of that, Will.
These turnovers, man. Brown are just getting them at the right time. It was a lovely little line-out play. They moved it beautifully to the back of their line-out from St. Bonaventure. And I just think Mosh Young, who was coming around the corner, the big number 4 for Bonnie, wasn't expecting it. Then they keep it tight. I almost wonder whether St. Bonaventure thought he was over the line. I think he thinks he might have scored. Nobody. Yeah. It's the wrong line. Anyway, in the end, he just gave the chance an extra second for the Brown's defense man to get on the ball, and it's another turnover for Brown. It's such a key area of the pitch.
Sure is. They've got it here. The line out here as we tick up toward the 62nd minute here in the match. The winner on for the final next Saturday down in Houston, 7 o'clock Eastern time here on the Rugby Network. Winner of this one will face the winner of Queens and Wheeling. 2 very familiar foes here in Division 1. We'll have the call of that one for you at 5 Eastern time. Will and I will. Business to tend to in this one, though.
No.
Getting the ball out of there. Played back by Lorenzato, their fullback. Now Harold back in position.
Just going to say, they just don't need to play too much rugby. They're inside their own half here, St. Bonaventure. They do play it to the outside. Just remember, territory is important.
Sure is. How about that tackle turned in there? That was by Tito Ajua. A man-sized tackle by the big center, number 13. Al Brown's come up with the ball again here. Back to work they go. Played out of there by Tuala. Heavy run. Another big tackle. That one finished off by Takandisa. The call, the indication for Micheletti, the knock on.
Yeah, knock on. Just at the base. Just as we're looking to play quick. Could tell. Charles Tuala was looking just to get the ball away. But what did I say to play too much rugby inside your own half? Particularly when you've got a line speed defense that Brown have. Yeah, there might be that opportunity on the outside, but maybe actually getting a bit of territory, get inside the half. There's still 18 minutes or so in this match. And in the end, they actually coughed it up, St. Bonaventure, but they got away with it because then Brown coughed it up. So just an area they've got to have maybe some better game management from the St. Bonaventure's halfbacks.
Another substitution from the reserves.
Time's back on.
Big Patrick Klink coming in, number 18. Product of Cleveland, Ohio, St. Ignatius, where he went. Same high school that produced former Bonnie and current Miami Shark Ricky Rose in Major League Rugby. Keeping the pipeline going there. Lorenzato to put in. He's got it at the back now. I haven't noticed a lot of changes on the Browns side, Will. I don't know that they've went to the reserves much at all, if any, here so far in the match. The Bonnies with 4 they've brought in so far.
No advantage.
Down on the deck. Dangerous ball there. It's a penalty call on Brown.
You're already on the side. You're never onside. Offside.
You're right, Ben. I can't see too many substitutes that come on for Brown. As I've mentioned for St. Bonaventure, when you've got line speed defenses, you're going to want to try and have a lot of energy coming off the line and putting a team under pressure. Well, you know, if you don't have the energy to do that, then it can cause problems. It can allow an attack just to pick off a lazy man, pick off maybe a little bit of continuity that's not there because of the fatigue that might be in this team. So do Brown look to the substitute bench? Well, they've also now got to make sure they stay disciplined. So Bonaventure, they've had possession inside the Brown half, but they have not come away with anything. So this is a key time in this match.
Sure is. Approaching just 15 minutes remaining in it. Last 2 have been classics in the semifinal round between these two. Good work here from the Bonnies.
No hands.
Thus far.
Advantage, slowing it down.
You heard Micheletti, advantage being played here for St. Bonaventure. The ground they go. Lorenzato at the base, spins it back. Thought about the pass and then waited too long, and the Brown defender right there gave him a pretty good shot.
It's that man, Gabriel, again. He's been everywhere today.
Shot called.
And it looks like they're going to go for the points here, Will.
Right here. Yeah, right.
They are. Trying to
Sensible
get the lead
decision.
here. Yeah.
Very sensible decision, Ben. You know, we've been saying this now to both teams. Points are precious, especially in playoff rugby. And now, as St. Bonaventure line up, they've deserved, with the possession they've had inside the Brown half, they deserve this lead. They deserve jumping ahead if he gets this kick to make it 10-8.
So much pressure. I don't know how you guys do it. You guys that kick these balls in a situation like this. No kicks are easy at this point, right? Noah Edwards, the Chilean, has it on the tee here, Will. Strike with the right, and he sticks it. And it's now a 10-8 lead for St. Bonaventure here in the 67th minute.
There you go. Great strike. 3 points. Every point's going to matter in this match. Sensible. I say they could have said, oh, we're going to go to the corner again. We're going to keep trying to battering down the door. But they've been turned over numerous times. So good decision from St. Bonaventure. And I'm sure that's the decision that Danny Neighbor would also want, the head coach.
Use it!
Certainly the right call, and it comes through for them, and they've got the lead by 2. Right back with the pill is St. Bonaventure. They go to the air. That's Lorenzato that popped it down the pitch. Round. Tuala. Big heavy tackle from Brennan there. The Jersey boy, 6'1" and 250 to prop. St. Bonaventure. 21 national champs, lost in the final last year. Brown, the 22 champs. Trying to pop that one down was a Jewel, and it was blocked. Brown, 9-0 this season, yet to lose. They have steamrolled many of their opponents, but today, St. Bonaventure standing in their way, leading by 2 here. Coming down the stretch here with 12 minutes to go in the match.
They need to just think about kicking this ball, get some territory. Exactly what they do. They're really under pressure.
And a good kick. They get it back there into some space. Now St. Bonaventure. It was Troy Harrell. Their scrum half, their 9. Getting in there, though, to the ball, Lorenzato.
No. No, no, no.
Lorenzato again. That's their captain there. That's Reynard Boshoff with a good heavy run there out of the cap. And charged down and blocked. And now tracking this ball backwards goes Lorenzato.
Straight out.
Yeah, right out.
Straight out and great defense from Brown. The charge down followed up.
Just one player right there.
Both defenses are looking strong. As I say, it's just a wonder who's going to get tired first. In the end, it's a great bash off that carry. You just thought, it's no problem. I don't mind kicking when you're on the front foot, but there was nothing in place. There was nothing to allow the number 9 to get that kick away. It was a good charge down, and Brown now find themselves a line out inside the Bonnie half.
Get it set with that maul that produced their try in the first half. At the back, they continue to push with it.
Don't change your binds now.
Nicoletti, our referee, a little instruction in there for Brown. Now it's pulled out of there by Tuala. Tuala played it back now. Looking for some help. Right in there was Ajua. Didn't get the ball, though. He's a dangerous guy. They're 13, their center. Out of London. Look out here. Heavy shot there on Frost. And it's turned over here. A errant pass that goes right into the hands of the Bonnies. So they get a massive turnover here with the heat on from Brown. Oof. Lorenzato trying to slither his way through there. The ball carrier there. I believe that's Brennan with the carry in there. And this one is mishandled there and knocked on by Noah Edwards.
This is where my fly half hat will come on again, Ben.
Yep.
You've got the lead, you've got the turnover. Get out your half. I know it sounds enticing, but you don't need to. You've got that turnover. It's then another phase. Yeah, there might be some play on the edge. Half carry, yeah, fair enough. Play, maybe. And once that's slowed down now, I just sort of feel like that you don't need to do that extra pass. It's not necessary. It's just where you are in this game. You're in a championship semi-final. Play the percentages. Get inside someone's half with some territory. Ask Brown questions. And now Brown have the ball. They've been gifted this ball inside Bonnie's half. So again, it comes down to game management.
Under 9 to play in it.
Use it now, use
Brown. Tuala's at the back. He doesn't get it. Instead, Estevez picked that ball up. Their number 8, their captain, their leader, heart and soul guy of this Brown club.
No.
Hear those hits loud and clear. What a physical match this has been. Here's a carry outside. LaPierre. Denver, Colorado, but a penalty called. Brown, and they turn it over right back to the Bonnies.
Great turnover from Bonnie. Like the way Brown were trying to move it to that outside. They actually had some opportunities there to pick some men off. Both defenses have really stood up firm today. There's been those occasions of a bit of fatigue, but other than that, ultimately some really good tackling, some really good turnovers. Both coaches will, you can only commend the effort that their boys have put in. So we're still very much in it with maybe just under 10 minutes to go.
And a much better kick that time from Noah Edwards. We saw him earlier with one that didn't find touch on a penalty. So here goes St. Bonaventure.
Backwards.
Right at halfway here, and they gain the halfway line.
Step. He's gone off his feet.
Lorenzato getting it back.
We'll play.
Good carry here from O'Neill.
No!
And the Bonnies try. Back in the first half. Nice little ball from Wilson Koina on that.
You're offside, though.
Phase of play they scored on. Here is Koina with the carry. Now the scrum half, Troy Harrell playing it back. Lorenzato will pull it free from the base this time. Some speed coming. A good job getting there quickly was Ajua, slowing him up a little bit. No break happening on that one, said Ajua. Now into the hands of Rohan Welsh. Lorenzato playing it out of there. Once again does. Bonnie's up by 2 on that kick in the 67th from Edwards. That's the difference in the match right now. Up in the air, batted back. Brown. They'll get to it. Trying to get rid of that ball. Avoid going into touch. The tackler trying to drag him up that touchline. This time they do drag him into touch through the Bonnies.
Just wonder whether for St. Bonaventure, you've got to try something a little bit different. Trying to knock the door down, not working. They go to the kicking game. Probably just not the right kind of kick. As you can see now, a little bit of loose ball. In the end, Lassonniere, such an attacking threat. He's had no real time and chances in this game. Then on 15 for Brown. But St. Bonaventure do well. But I just think, Ben, like with the line speed defense that Brown are showing, I've said it already, just that little chip kick, just getting over the top. When it hits the turf as well, you've got the bounce of the ball, there's space in the backfield. Rather than just hammering down the door, which Brown are staying firm on, I just think St. Bonaventure maybe just think of a different way of attacking.
A little bit of stoppage here. See in the middle, the bottom of your screen, little leg wrap going on. The boys getting a little hydration here as down the stretch we come here, Will. The time is off with 5 minutes remaining in the match. 10-8 St. Bonaventure. The third straight matchup in the semifinal round between these two, and two sides that are just fighting this thing out tooth and nail here in Reading, Pennsylvania. What's it going to take here? What do you feel it's going to take to define this game? And if you're St. Bonaventure, what would you like to see them do offensively to try to get more points since they have the ball here initially?
Well, let's talk about composure and control. Keep hold of the ball, yes. But then just trying to move the ball away from contact. That looks like, yeah, a brilliant turnover from Brown. So just when I say control and composure, it's exactly that. Make sure your breakdowns are solid. Make sure you clear out a solid. And then look where the space might be. But once again, is it that man, Enrique? I think it's Gabriel again. With another steal, the number 1 from Brown. Whatever happens the result today, he really has been an MVP.
He really has. He's been everywhere. And now if you're Brown, so let's go to the other side. What do you change anything, or do you keep going to what works here as we're going to look back at that last sequence?
Yeah, we're just having a look back at the turnover. Tualu's actually been strong in the 12 jersey for Bonnie, but a great turnover from Brown. Look, I think that you're right, Ben. They've got to keep in state of things that have been good for them, state of things they know. Keep it in the maul. You know, at the end of the day, if that's the thing that's working, keep to it like that. Suck the defense in of St. Bonaventure, because then that's when the space opens up out wide. But for the moment, I keep it set piece orientated. Keep it in this line out drive, hopefully.
Eric Estienne is now in at the hooker. He's come in to replace Joel Hasso, and St. Bonaventure forcing another turnover here. So back and forth we go with those turnovers. Under 5 to go, a 2-point lead for the Bonnies with possession of the ball. This up in the air, Brown. You let him get it? Yes, no problems there on the contest for the ball. Now the Bonnies have it just over halfway. Lorenzato playing it out of there. Lorenzato right back to it now. Takes a look. Now comes this way. Couple meters gain for the Bonnies. And another call on the Bonnies, not releasing in time. It goes over to Brown.
Gives them the chance now, Brown. Need a good kick. Assignier. Try and get it as close as he can towards that 22. That's not a bad kick, to be fair.
Okay.
And the last line out wasn't great, though, from Brown. It was a great steal from Mosh Young. He's been very impressive, the number 4 from Bonnies. I'm sure he'll try to look to do the same thing for Brown, though. They'll be wanting to set up a drive here, Ben. I'm sure of it.
Better from Brown. Into the hands there of Enrique Gabriel. The loose head prop Will has talked about a lot here, and he has been just tremendous in this match. This push here from Brown. Here they come. Still trying to drive by. He's trying to... Yeah.
Mosh Young, that is sensational work. What a turnover from the number 4 from Bonnies.
Look at the bodies in there. The number 10 Frost like a pretzel in there and finally gets free. And the big man, Mosh Young, 6'5", 245, forcing that play. Kick back down the pitch. Here comes Brown now. LaPierre plays the ball. Here's the dangerous one. Tito Ajua. Brown coming with some momentum here. 2.5 minutes remaining in the match. Brown trying to get a try here. Down by 2, 10-8. They lay back. That's Clayberg. Clayberg. Job to finish that run. Tuala gets it free.
Playing the advantage, guys.
Inside of the 22 now. Advantage being played. You heard Christopher Micheletti, our referee there.
Yes, he's still got advantage. It's going to be on the sideline.
Bonnie's good job getting to the ball. 2 right to it. Now Tuala.
He's got advantage.
Bonnie's pushing back.
Timing's right.
Tuala. Clayberg's got the hand up in the back. On the ball, didn't get it.
Brass, it's in front of the kicker. You got a scrum around the 18-yard box or a penalty up here on the 5. Both are on the 5. Scrum in front of the kicker.
There you go, Will. They're taking the scrum.
That doesn't surprise me. That's as good as having a penalty. They take it inside the half. Bonaventure. I was trying to work out why the referee was giving them the choice on that. But anyway, here we go. This is a massive chance for Brown. We know how strong their scrum has been. The likes of Gabriel at number 1. Rosenmeier at number 3 as well. I really should be mentioning him as well. The loose head and tight head have been so good for Brown. This is it. This really is their chance, Ben. Either they attack off this, or I imagine they're going to try and keep this in as much as possible and try and get a penalty.
Up, guys. Neither team is holding our weight. Okay? Let's go. Do this properly. Crouch! Bind! Set! Now use it! Both on down! You got the penalty advantage, Mark. Keep my mark, please. Nothing. Offside back line. It's the 10 that's offside. Scoreboard's accurate. Offside. Hold back line. Shot. Shot called.
Well, there you go. They are going for... They're going for that shot. They're going for, ultimately, the 3 points. 3 points would do it, Ben. We come down to this. You can see everyone's done their job. But it's the job of Lassonniere, the number 15. Can he kick Brown
have to stay down, guys, as well.
into a championship final next weekend?
You can't make this stuff up. Last year, St. Bonaventure won on a penalty kick. Now Brown. And that was on the last play of the match. The strike with the right. The kick is on the way, and the kick is good. And Brown, they come through, and they get it done. An 11-10 win. They are on to the championship next Saturday in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
What a finish. What a finish to an unbelievable game. Two heavyweights of NCR D1 Championship Rugby going at it once again in another year, in another playoff game. And it's come down right to the end again. What a kick from Lassonniere to have the nerve to step up wherever it is on the field. A wonderful strike by the number 15. That man hugging him, though, number 1. Gabriel, honestly, the loose head from Brown was sensational. We're giving MVP today. Brown's number 1 gets it in abundance. He was brilliant. But what a finish. Well done, Bonnies, though. What a fight. It's gone right down to the end. But my word, Ben. What a titanic semi-final we've had.
And here is a look back and go back to the first half of this match. And it started with a penalty kick from Brown. The end, Will Hooley. It ended on a penalty kick from Brown. The walk-off winner. Here's the try coming up here from St. Bonaventure, and we'll walk through some of these key moving pictures from this match.
Yeah, there's some really nice setups. Both driving lineouts were strong for both teams. It was this point, though, in the first half. St. Bonaventure broke away. Otoneru getting the try, the first try of the game. And then Brown ultimately came really strong with their set piece. Their scrum was superb, but this was wonderful, wonderful pushover. That was just before the end of the first half, and you thought, hey, if Brown do more of this, this could be the reason that they get the win in this match. But in the second half, it was still tight. There was a lot of possession. Bonnie's making their way up the field. It is this time they went for the post. A great kick. This is when it took it to 10-8, and you thought maybe for St. Bonaventure, this was their time. This was their time to close the game out. But as we see some celebration right at the end, it was a kick from Lassonniere, Raphael Lassonniere, the number 15 for for Brown, taking Brown to Houston next weekend.
What a classic match, a classic finish again, and said to both coaches earlier in the week, we expect the same kind of thing, and they said probably. And that's exactly what we got as Raphael Lassonniere, the winning penalty kick in walk-off fashion. The Brown Bears, they are back in the championship. They'll be down in Houston next Saturday night. Well, we'll see you in a couple hours. This was fun, man. For Will Hooley, all of our crew, Ben Holton saying, hope you enjoyed this one. How could you not if you're a fan of this great sport? An epic finish, a victory for Brown. They win 11-10. More rugby coming up at 3 Eastern with the second Division 1 AA semifinal. Will and I will see you back at 5 for the second semifinal in Division 1.
Welcome to the Rugby Rundown on the Rugby Network. Join myself, Alex Corbicero, and Will Hooley as we bring you your weekly rugby fix.
With the big news, special guests, and unparalleled